Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm kicking off the sensitive series. Now the reason for this is that when we launched our routine finder for the Dr. Sam system 2 weeks ago now, it was downloaded by 3,000 of you and a whopping 70% of you said that your skin was sensitive. So I wanted to explore this topic. Are we really much more sensitive? Are we missing a skin disorder that has sensitive skin as a feature of it? Or are we simply doing certain things with our skincare behavior that is promoting a problem in the way our skin functions? So firstly, I want to eliminate the disorders of which sensitive skin is a part of. So when I think about sensitive skin in context of disease, I immediately think of rosacea, the condition where it's almost an inevitability that there'll be intolerance to certain skincare ingredients, that there'll be a stingy, burny sensation, there'll be associated reddening. There may even be rough patches because barrier dysfunction is part and parcel of rosacea. And barrier dysfunction is something you're going to see as a bit of a theme as we talk through the different ways sensitive skin presents. Now, I've done video content on rosacea, so I'm going to park that over there. Next condition is eczema or dermatitis. The two terms can be used interchangeably. Now, there are different patterns to eczema. We have atopic eczema, which is the classic pattern, presents in childhood, in front of the elbows, behind the knees, and can change over the course of teenage life into adulthood, can often become facial. Again, we're parking atopic eczema over here, seborrheic eczema, red scaly patches here and here in the scalp, parked over there. So I think let's exclude the disease situations. What we then are left with, which my feeling is from the routine finder, is the majority of the individuals that we're left with, are those who experience a kind of a bucket of kind of subjective symptoms. They'll often complain of a tight feeling or a stingy feeling or a burny feeling of their skin. And from time to time, they will experience dry patches, redness, but typically skin changes won't be consistent. They'll come and go, and the skin may even look normal. So when I think of sensitive skin, I'm excluding the disorders we've left over here, and I'm focusing in on this group who have normal to dry skin as their skin type, but this is possible really in context of any skin type, any skin. You can have oily skin and still behave sensitively. But it is this kind of like rag bag of symptoms and occasional signs on the skin. And I think it takes that group down a certain path where we start to really dig into their behavior. So these patients come into clinic with a huge bag of products, typically, that they haven't been able to use because everything stings, doctor. And oftentimes, as I said, the skin can look normal. So I think one of the first things I make sure I'm not missing is subclinical eczema, where there's very little inflammation to see, but there is evidence of barrier disruption as manifest by the fact that everything they put in their skin irritates them. So a trial of topical anti-inflammatories using a mild topical steroid alongside a product detox is something that's often worth trying, particularly if somebody's skin is really itchy. If that isn't working out, if that doesn't make a big difference, then again I have to think about, is there a contact sensitivity issue? And I do have a low threshold for sending those patients off for proper patch testing, where we look at their skin's behavior in detail, following exposure to a numerous barrage of common allergens, including the kind of ingredients you find in personal care products. So those are two more sort of exclusions in terms of there is no disease present here. So that leaves us with the kind of normal-ish looking skin. These symptoms are going on, bag of products potentially. So what's actually causing the problem? So in many of these instances, the primary problem is barrier disruption. Barrier disruption means that our complicated stratum corneum is no longer doing its magical thing of keeping all the bad stuff out. And that means with ongoing use of personal care products, ingredients are penetrating into the skin and potentially stimulating immune reactivity and aggravating our nerve endings, which can then release inflammatory ingredients, all of which stacks up to activate the inflammatory cascade. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing this grumbling, low-level inflammation because the barrier is not intact. So that's the simple thought process that I go through when I'm looking at someone who's complaining of sensitive skin. Is there a disorder? Is it part and parcel of their normal skin's behavior? Or is it due to skincare activity like product hopping? And how do we go about solving it? So I'm going to come on to product hopping next week, because I really do believe that that's probably the root cause in many, many instances. And that's a good thing, because of course that is eminently fixable. So stay tuned, come back and see us again next week for the next part of the sensitivity series. Bye for now.